Dan Bongino is a good choice for Deputy FBI Director.
It's hard for me. I'm going to accept the role proudly as the Deputy Director, the number 2 spot at the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I'm going nay.
I'm going
on
hard,
this one.
hard yay.
Okay, all right. Why don't you take it away as our guest host of the day?
That's generous of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that the American public's perception of the FBI is in the gutter for good reason. I think the FBI is perceived to have been totally weaponized over the past 4+ years. You know, whether you're talking about the aggressive enforcement against January 6 rioters versus rioters who destroyed property for other causes, whether you're talking about the really aggressive prosecution and investigation of pro-life protesters in front of abortion clinics, there's a real concern that the FBI is a politicized body. And so the only reason you would bring someone like Dan Bongino into the Bureau would be to clean house and root out a lot of this perceived politicization. You need a kind of wrecking ball to go in there.
Okay. All right. I actually don't disagree with what you're saying on the merits. I think Dan Bongino is a bad choice for Deputy FBI Director under this current administration because, yes, I agree, public sentiment regarding the FBI is in the gutter. The president and Pam Bondi, the AG, and Kash Patel, the FBI director, they've outlined their mandate to root out that corruption and try and rehash the public image with the American public. That being said, so why do we need a third person on the docket to try to accomplish that? Look, Dan Bongino is, he was a Secret Service agent for over a decade, I want to say. He was a New York City police officer before that. His credentials in law enforcement are not to be quibbled with. But just like Kash Patel, he doesn't have any direct experience with the FBI. Unless we're willing to say every single agent and operative at the FBI is part of this corruption and needs to be thrown out, I think there's going to be serious ill sentiment inside the Bureau that we're now having all outsiders come in and try and reshape the Bureau to fit the Donald Trump image of what the FBI should be. There needs to be someone there who the career officials, who weren't abusing their position, weren't politicizing investigations. They can say, oh, okay, well, yes, we're addressing this issue, but we're also trying to pursue the core mission value of the FBI. I think Dan Bongino would had the president, selected someone with FBI experience to be director, he would have been a perfect pick to be deputy director, but it feels like we're playing the same song on repeat, and I'm not so sure that's going to work out down the line.
I don't think you can keep putting the same types of people in those positions, though, and expecting different results. If you keep putting company men at the top of the FBI, the company's going to keep getting run the same way. That's the complaint about FBI Director Chris Wray, right? He was a company man, ill-equipped to change the culture.